Today, we will begin a new series called DC Profiles, where we discuss and go over a certain rapper and rumors around their name. In this episode, we will discuss Baby Jamo. Baby Jamo is a DC rapper from the Stanton Glen and the Z area of Southeast, but is also good on the Hill, also known as 37th. Jamo would go down the jail alongside Gizwop in 2021, after the duo would be caught with multiple high-capacity firearms including Blatz, a Glock 31 .357 caliber handgun, a Remington 1911.45 caliber handgun, a Glock 45 9mm caliber handgun, a .23 caliber ghost gun rifle, and a Glock 22 40 caliber handgun, all pictured below, were recovered in the 2200 block of Bladensburg Road, Northeast. The following people were arrested: 20-year-old Tremaine Brown of Northeast, D.C., 19-year-old Russell Gizwop Campbell of Southeast, D.C., and 18-year-old Ricardo Baby Jamo Glass of Southeast, D.C., for carrying a pistol without a license, possession of unregistered ammunition, possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance, carrying a rifle or shotgun outside a home or business, National Firearms Act, and possession of a large-capacity ammunition feeding device. Baby Jamo would go down in this case, but Gizwop would beat it and be let free. Years would go by, and Jamo would finally be let free and would release his first day out single, 14,112 hours later in May of 2023. And the title would be a reference to how long his sentence in jail was, which was 14,712 hours, 613 days, 1 year, and 8 months. After releasing his first day out single, he would hop on a track with fellow 37th rapper Gizwop on a track called Reunited, a reference to Baby Jamo returning from his jail sentence. Baby Jamo and Gizwop are allegedly the ones that were on the FastCashJune hit in Paradise, April 13, 2020. Saratoga rapper FastCashJune is chilling on the Cruddy with his close friend Cruddy Murda when suspects hop out a silver sedan shooting at the crowd, injuring a 20-year-old, 29-year-old, and killing FastCashJune. June sustained gunshot wounds to his head, chest, side, and wrist. No suspects would ever be apprehended for this crime. After being home for some time, Baby Jamo would drop music consistently and keep stacking up his money until on Sunday, while on routine patrol at approximately 2:15 a.m., a USCP officer noticed a driver in a white Infiniti Q50 stopped along Massachusetts Avenue, NE, idling at a green traffic light by Union Station. Suspecting the driver could be impaired, the officer attempted to make a traffic stop. The driver then sped away and crashed into a Capitol complex vehicle barricaded near 1st Street and D Street, NE. The driver and the passenger then ran away from the crash, which was near USCP headquarters. USCP officers chased both suspects on foot. One was captured in the 100 block of C Street, NE, while the other was captured in the 500 block of 2nd Street, NE. A Glock handgun, which had a 22-round extended magazine, was found on the passenger side seat, near an additional magazine. Another Glock, which had the giggle switch, was found in a flower bed in the 100 block of C Street, NE. The Infiniti Q50 was stolen out of Prince George's County, Maryland. Ricardo L. Glass and Onosatal Okojie at Washington, D.C. Both 20 years old, were arrested for several charges including carrying a pistol without a license, X2, unauthorized use of a vehicle, and fleeing from a law enforcement officer in a motor vehicle, to name a few of the charges. This arrest would come only a few months of Baby Jamo being released back in May of 2023. And the streets would say it's not looking too good for Baby Jamo, and he may have to sit down for a minute. The paperwork of the arrest would say, the following events occurred on 11/5/2023. This statement is written to the best of my recollection. Initial attempted traffic stop while on routine patrol and operating a marked USC patrol vehicle, RO Corrigan 6833, heard a vehicle loudly proceed through the intersection of North Capitol and Massachusetts Avenue, NE. RO turned left from the 600 block of North Capitol Street, NW, to investigate. RO entered the unit block of Massachusetts Avenue, NE, and observed a white Infiniti Q50 99823B in the middle of the crosswalk against a red light. When the light turned green, the vehicle continued to sit idle in the middle of the crosswalk. Traffic began to flow around the vehicle. Suspecting the driver may be impaired, REO prepared to make a traffic stop. Upon seeing RO's patrol vehicle, The vehicle suddenly squealed its wheels and proceeded eastbound in the unit block of Columbus Circle NE, nearly proceeding the wrong way and striking the curb in the process. Foot pursuit of suspects. Foot pursuit of S2, Onosettle, and gun recovery RO observed a suspect from the vehicle running east towards United States Capitol Police Headquarters and broadcasted a description for responding units. The suspect ran into a USCP parking lot and jumped a fence on the south side of the lot, entering the 100 block of C Street NE inside of the U.S. Capitol Police perimeter, and continued to run eastbound in the 100 block of C Street NE. RO paralleled the suspect fleeing from his USCP patrol vehicle and advised units responding that the suspect would most likely exit at the intersection of 2nd and C Street NE. RO exited his patrol vehicle and continued to give chase to the suspect, who doubled back and was now running back westbound in the same block. RO gave extremely loud verbal commands for the suspect to get on the ground and put his arms out to his side. The suspect complied and laid down in the 100 block of D Street NE with his hands out to his side. RO moved in to safely detain the suspect. The suspect was detained without further incident. The suspect provided RO with his social security number and remained relatively silent on scene, not making any statements of note to RO. While on scene investigating, USC Command Center notified RO that while S2 was running from RO, he was captured on USCP CCTV footage, throwing an object into the air which came to rest in an elevated flower bed outside the north door of the Hart office building. RO climbed up onto a railing and immediately observed a black handgun upside down in the flower bed. The handgun did not have a magazine inserted. RO continued to investigate. While on scene, the suspect requested DC fire for an unspecified head injury and made reference to having the spins. RO requested DC Fear to respond to the scene. S2 was transported by DC Fear to Georgetown Hospital for further evaluation. At the time of this narrative, S1 is still being evaluated. Foot pursuit of SI Glass. As RO detained S2, RO was monitoring that assisting units had apprehended the second occupant of the vehicle in the 500 block of 2nd Street NE. A02 Karapetian and A03 Jones observed the suspect running in the 500 block of 2nd Street NE. The suspect tripped, face planted, and A02 Karapetian and A03 Jones moved in to safely make the apprehension. Further investigation by RO revealed that the USC Command Center captured S1 exiting the vehicle and running back northbound through the USC headquarters parking lot. The suspect continued to run on the west side of the Monocle restaurant. The suspect then jumped the south fence of another USCP parking lot, Lot 16, and continued to run towards Massachusetts Avenue NE. The suspect then jumped another fence in the same lot and continued towards 2nd and Massachusetts Avenue NE. A02 Karapetian and A03 Jones subsequently made the apprehension. S1 was identified to RO as the driver by the USCP Command Center by his article of clothing, a white shirt, sweater, stolen vehicle, and second gun recovery. While on scene of the traffic collision at 1st and D Street, NE A04 Mirik Sum 7463 observed a black handgun with an extended magazine on the passenger side seat. A04 Mirik also conducted a VIN, JNWF V7A PO JM460496, check of the vehicle which revealed that the vehicle was stolen. NIC V3155378851, DTE 2231 out of Prince George County, Maryland. DUI and no permit RO responded back to the 500 block of 2nd Street NE and observed S1 glass. RO had S1 exit the rear of the patrol vehicle so RO could attempt to conduct horizontal gaze nystagmus on S1. S1 was unable to track RO's stimulus and was heavily slurring his words, all consistent in RO's experience with a highly impaired driver. A Wales NCIC check of S1 glass revealed he did not have a valid driver's license in the District of Columbia, Maryland, or Virginia, only an ID card, 4920039. RO also noticed on this scene that S1 was wearing a white shirt sweater, as it was described by the USCP Command Center. The defendants were both placed under arrest for multiple charges. S1 was transported to 119 D Street NE, where he was advised of his Miranda rights and the DC implied consent notice. The defendant refused to submit to chemical testing. The defendant was evaluated by DC Fire while at 119 D Street NE but refused all treatment. S2 was transported by DC Fire to Georgetown Hospital, At the time of this narrative, S2 is still being evaluated. Processing of gun War 1. S1 glass gun recovered from vehicle at 1st and D Street NE. Glock 23, 40, S&W serial number BDX83-22, round extended magazine with 18 rounds, 1 round in the chamber. USCP crime scene technician Paynes responded to the scene to process all pertinent evidence. The gun was recovered from the front passenger seat. Also recovered inside of the vehicle was an additional Glock magazine found between the passenger door and seat. The magazine contained 13 .40 caliber rounds. Further examination of the gun by crime scene technician Paynes and Azo2 Karapetian at the USCP crime scene lab revealed that the gun was a black Glock 23 and appeared to be fully functional, able to expel a projection by means of explosion, and had a barrel length less than 12 inches and the ability to be fired using one hand. The gun had an extended 22-round magazine inserted into the gun with 18 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. The gun contained .40 caliber S&W ammunition. Processing of gun R2, S2, Okoji recovered from flower bed at 100 C Street NE in front of the north door of the Heart. Glock 23, .40 S&W, serial number BDWF306 lanes. No magazine inserted, 1 in the chamber, auto sear, giggle switch, on rear of slide attempt to obliterate serial number. USCP crime scene technician Paynes responded to the 100 block of C Street NE to process the second gun. The gun was recovered from a flower bed in the 100 block of C Street NE in front of the north door of the Hart Senate office building. Further examination of the gun by crime scene technician Paynes and Azo2 Karapetian at the USCP crime scene lab revealed that the gun was a black Glock 23 and appeared to be fully functional, able to expel a projection by means of explosion, and had a barrel length less than 12 inches and the ability to be fired using one hand. The gun did not have a magazine inserted and had 1 round in the chamber. The serial number of the gun was attempted to be scratched out. That's the end of the first episode of DC Profiles. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow Stroffing DMV on Instagram.